Solutions in Gaza and Ukraine? Could be. It's 5 in 10 from Skywatch TV. 5 things you need to know in about 10 minutes for Thursday, February 13th, 2025. I'm Derek Gilbert. Another icy day here in the Ozarks, especially between here and our home studio out in our barn, walking across that slick, sloped, icy driveway. Yeah, I'll play it safe and stay here in the home studio one more day. Item number 5 today, Gaza. During their meeting on Tuesday, President Trump asked Jordan's King Abdullah to help ensure or help convey to Hamas the severity of the situation if Hamas does not release the hostages as scheduled on Saturday. King Abdullah said for his part, he reiterated during the meeting his country's steadfast opposition to President Trump's plan to resettle millions of Palestinians out of Gaza, about 2 million Palestinians. Here's the thing. The people who are protesting the resettlement of the 2 million people from Gaza really aren't opposed to resettling millions of people. It's just they want to resettle the 9 million Israelis from the river to the sea, rather than the 2 million Gazans. So it's not really that they're opposed to resettlement as such. It's just who's being resettled. But I digress. Earlier in the day, King Abdullah told Trump that he could take in 2,000 sick Palestinian children who are either very sick or have cancer. Now, bear in mind, there are already 2 million Palestinian Arabs inside Jordan, which is a country of about 11.3 million people. That's an increase of about 4 million people over the last 15 years. I mean, Jordan had about 7 million people back in 2010. Now it's up to 11.3 million. Many of those are refugees from the civil war in Syria. And this is a delicate political situation for King Abdullah. As I told you the other day, the Palestine Liberation Organization, Palestinian Arabs led by Yasser Arafat, tried to assassinate King Abdullah's father, King Hussein, in 1970. That was the Black September movement, led to a war, a civil war in Jordan, where the Jordanian army had to kick the Palestinian Arabs out, where they went to Lebanon and started a civil war there, which is why the Arabs in the region don't want the Palestinians. Trump's proposal to own the Gaza Strip and relocate its residents has drawn opposition from everybody across the globe, everybody who's largely in favor of a two-state solution. But we should remember that the word Palestinian, the label Palestinian, is a marketing move. It's branding intended to get the world to think of Palestinian as a separate ethnicity. It is not. This was invented by Russia's KGB, its intelligence services, which was opposed to U.S. support for Israel back in the 1960s. They wanted everybody to think of the Arabs who had once lived west of the Jordan River as Palestinians. There was no such thing as Palestinian until the 1960s. And to think of them as ethnically distinct from the Arabs who lived east of the Jordan River. That is not the case. In fact, until the 1920s, Palestine included everything that is now Israel and Jordan. It was all Palestine. And I should say, again, that according to the League of Nations Charter as voted on in 1919, all of that, Israel and Jordan, was to be allotted to the Zionists, Jews, for an independent Jewish state. And of course, that changed very quickly, and it changed even faster after Arabs discovered oil in the 1930s. They've been negotiating to try to find a two-state solution since at least 1936. So President Trump trying to shift the discussion a little further towards a realistic solution, and it looks like Jordan and Egypt may slowly be coming around. Item number 4, Ukraine. President Trump said negotiations to end the war in Ukraine will start immediately. He announced on his Truth social media platform that he had a lengthy and highly productive telephone call with Russia's President Vladimir Putin Wednesday morning. This is the first known conversation between the two men since Trump was inaugurated for his second term. Trump posted to Truth Social that he and Putin had, quote, agreed to have our respective teams start negotiations immediately, and we will begin by calling President Zelensky of Ukraine to inform him of the conversation, something which I will be doing right now, end quote. And Zelensky's office confirmed that Trump and Zelensky had, in fact, been on the phone for about an hour by the time that was posted to Truth Social. The Kremlin said that Putin and Trump had agreed to meet. No details yet. Putin had invited Trump to visit Moscow. Earlier on Wednesday, Pete Hegseth, Trump's defense secretary, said a return to the pre-2014 borders is unrealistic and that he does not see, the Trump administration does not see NATO membership for Ukraine as part of any solution to the ongoing war. Item number 3, a follow-up on the $59 million sent by FEMA, the Federal Emergency Management Agency, last week to New York City for luxury hotels for illegal migrants. That was disclosed by Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE. 4 employees of the Federal Emergency Management Agency, including a top-level executive, have now been fired. This reported by Fox News. FEMA's chief financial officer, 2 program analysts, and a grant specialist, all relieved of duty. On Monday, you might remember, Elon Musk, who runs DOGE, posted on X that his team had discovered this $59 million payout. Now, city officials in New York said, no, we actually received $81 million in FEMA last week, not just the $59 million that Musk noted, but only $19 million was for housing migrants in hotels. Oh, well, that's okay then. Item number 2, a graphics fail. This is classic. This is the banner that was displayed by Hamas at the last hostage release over the weekend. Now, look closely. What do you notice? I will give you a hint. How many fingers do you see on that clenched fist? If you count 6, 5 fingers and a thumb, you are correct. 6 fingers. Now, is this evidence that there are Nephilim in Gaza? With all due respect to our friends who've been calling this out and pointing this out to people, no, this is not necessarily evidence that there are still Nephilim on the ground in Gaza. I will say that Gaza, whose patron deity was Dagon, and if you've read my book, The Second Coming of Saturn, you know that Dagon is just another name for El, or for Milcom of the Ammonites, who the Hebrews called Molech. Okay, you understand there's problem there. I mean, this was the case long into the Christian era. He was called Marnus by the people who lived in Gaza as late as the 6th century AD. So anyway, problematic. But in 2 Samuel 21, we get the only reference in the Bible to a guy with 6 fingers, and he's one of the Philistines who David and his men had to take down. There's no other reference to giants, Nephilim, Anakim, Rephaim having 6 fingers in the Bible. So it's not necessarily a trait characteristic of the giants. And here's the other thing. This man with the 6 fingers, who is of very large stature, is described as a descendant of the Rapha. In Hebrew, it's Ha-Rapha, the Rapha. And the word translated descendant, the Hebrew word yalid, does not mean genetic blood descendant. It means one who's a member of a group into which one has been consecrated or initiated, like a cult. So it doesn't mean he's actually literally a Nephilim or descendant of the Nephilim. It means he is a devotee, a worshiper of the Rapha, whatever that is. Sharon and I go into this in great detail in our book, Veneration. So let's just take a step back. It is evidence of something cultic, perhaps, but then as followers of Allah, we already knew that. Coming up, best suggestion I've heard from Congress, maybe ever. Certainly the best suggestion I've heard this week. I'll tell you what it is next on 5 and 10.
You can support the ministry of Skywatch TV and our continued efforts to share the gospel of Jesus Christ throughout the 4 corners of the world and receive your very own copy of this incredible masterpiece when you order The World Before the Flood special offer. Not only does this incredible opportunity include Rick Renner's new book, fallen angels, giants, monsters, and the world before the flood, how the events of Noah's Ark and the flood are relevant to the end of the age. But it also includes the best-selling book, Giants, Gods, and Dragons, Exposing the Fallen Realm and the Plot to Ignite the Final War of the Ages by Derek and Sharon Gilbert with companion DVD. This incredible book and DVD set reveals the actual identities of the four horsemen of the apocalypse, the identity of Nimrod, and the true location of Babel. Why the wild beasts that accompany the deadly rider on the pale horse might actually be disease-causing viruses, and so much more. Sold separately, these items hold a retail value of nearly $100. Yours now for your donation of only $45, which includes free shipping to all U.S. orders. So don't delay. You can support the ministry of Skywatch TV and help us continue spreading the gospel of Jesus Christ right now by scanning the QR code on your screen using the camera app on your phone for instant access to this special opportunity. You can visit us at skywatchtvstore.com or call 1-844-750-4985 and ask for the World Before the Flood special offer right now.
How far into this are we already? Yeah, running long. All right. Item number 1 today, the best suggestion all week. Congressman Buddy Carter of Georgia has introduced House Resolution 1161 to authorize the president to enter into negotiations to acquire Greenland and to rename Greenland as Red, White, and Blueland. Representative Carter, I love it. To our congressman, Representative Eric Burleson, please support this bill. It's probably not going to make it out of committee, but at least it's hilarious. This week on Skywatch TV, we talk about the world before the flood. Rick Renner has done some wonderful research, in fact, traveling to the Darupanar site in Turkey, which he's shown in his book, World Before the Flood, is in all probability the actual location of the Ark of Noah. But this week we talk about the Euphrates River and the fact that it's drying up. Is that fulfillment of prophecy, as we read in the book of Revelation? Don't miss this fascinating discussion. Rick is a fascinating guy. You really need to follow and support his ministry. You'll find the program and the 2 previous programs with Rick at skywatchtv.com. All of our video content is always there. If you watch our show over the air, our broadcast schedule is posted at skywatchtv.com/channels. Now, if you got Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, or a Fire Stick, Smart TV preloaded with Roku or Fire TV, please add the Skywatch TV channel to it. Get all of our video content there. You can watch over the internet at youtube.com/@Skywatch Television. Subscribe, share, click the bell for notifications, hit that like button. You can also follow us on Rumble at Skywatch TV. We are also, on our mobile app. Download our mobile app to your smartphone or tablet. It is absolutely free and available for iOS, Android, and Amazon Kindle Fire phones and tablets. And we've got links to their app stores at our website, skywatchtv.com/app. Follow 5 in 10 online. We're at YouTube at 5 in 10. Subscribe, share, click the bell for notifications, hit that like button, and please follow us on X, formerly Twitter, as we link to stories we think are important there at 5_in_10. And thank you for watching as we keep watch. I'm Derek Gilbert. This is 5 in 10 from Skywatch TV.